What's the gossip?
Gossip in the Grove.
What's the gossip?
Gossip in the Grove.
What's the gossip?
Hello, welcome to Gossip in the Grove, and Miss Scarlett is going to introduce our guest today from Hopkinsville Community College, Fort Campbell campus.
Thank you. Now I don't have to say
That's
the mouthful. Okay, so we would like to welcome Miranda and Nasharee.
You did, thank
Okay.
So welcome. So I guess what I want to ask first is tell us a little bit about the campus and what you guys want to relate to our listeners and our viewers.
Yeah, so Hopkinsville Community College is a college out in Hopkinsville, but we do have a campus that's on the Fort Campbell installation in the Education Center. A lot of people think that to be part of that community, you have to be military affiliated, have to have like a military ID to go to school there, but that's not the case. Anybody is welcome as long as you can come on post, get a visitor's pass. We can create passes for students for the semester. But we're open to everybody. We offer our associate's degree programs and some small certifications, and then all of our online programs as well. So we really just want to welcome people to the campus, talk about, what we offer, those types of things.
Well, I never knew that you were able to actually go on Fort Campbell to attend the community college. So this is really good to know. So, yeah. So is it a big campus? Is it...
No, I would say we're pretty small.
Small?
So we're located inside the Fort Campbell Education Center. So there is like Army support that does all of the like Army support side of things. And then there are multiple colleges that are in that same building as well. So there's us, the Hopkinsville Community College, Austin Peay State University, Murray State, and then a few other like online campuses kind of rotate in and out with their representatives. But in terms of our campus, we have a staff of, we've got 2, 3, 4, 5,
About six.
About six?
7.
Okay.
Yeah, we have like 7 full-time staff members, and then we have faculty members who are primarily based at our campus as well. So we're a small little office, just kind of one window that does everything, and then we have rotating classrooms throughout that building that we share with all of our students, their different classes, and then we also share it with kind of the other partners in the building as well. So it's a really flexible space, really fun for our students to get different experiences.
That's cool. So you ladies work there on that campus?
Yes.
So are you guys the admin or the admissions? Are you the...
So I'll explain
Yeah.
me. Yeah. So I'm a recruiter at Hopkinsville Community College, but also work at Fort Campbell campus. So my region, I focus on the Oak Grove, Fort Campbell, Clarksville, Stewart County, and Robertson County areas.
Okay.
And then we have another recruiter, and she focuses on the Hopkinsville, Trigg County, and Todd County region. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's pretty much what I do, and then Miranda can share what she does.
Yeah, and I'm our academic advisor, and I also oversee our admissions process. So work really closely one-on-one with our active duty students, specifically with their like actual courses, program of study. But then because I do oversee admissions, that is everything from our prospective students who come up, ask us questions, or call, apply online, all the way through getting them into their first orientation session, actually signing up for classes, all of those types of things.
So what kind of classes do they what kind of classes do they offer?
Yeah, so at Hopkinsville Community College, we are really those first 2 years of a majority of different programs, as well as diploma and certificates. So at Fort Campbell specifically, with our in-person classes, we offer any of the courses that a student would take for their generalized associate's degree. So associate in arts, associate in science programs, which help students directly transfer to a 4-year school, kind of wherever they want to go after that. And then the certification classes that we offer, we have certified nursing assistant. We have a lot of students who will take business, medical information technology classes,
wow.
criminal justice.
Okay.
We offer all down at Fort Campbell. And then we also support the certifications that are on our Hopkinsville campus. So the full nursing program EMT, welding, CDL, truck driving, all that kind of stuff. So we can be a support even for students who want to go out to classes in Hopkinsville as well.
That is really neat. That's cool. And so is it, do you have like a 4-year degree as well there, or it's only just 2 years?
Just the 2 years.
Okay.
So that's one of the coolest things about community colleges is it really helps our students explore what they want to do long term. And then we also do have those options that are with those certifications and diplomas, kind of your terminal. Like I can go get this class done within 8 or 16 weeks and then go out into the workforce. And then it does help students to prepare for a 4-year degree. And we have partnerships with a lot of the schools in the area as well. So students who want to end up maybe one day going to Murray State or Austin P, Kentucky State, West Kentucky, those types of schools, we know exactly what their program requirements are so that in those first 2 years of their college, they can do it at in a like smaller environment at a more cost-effective rate, those types of things before they move on to whatever degree they desire.
That is really cool.
Yeah. So, and you don't have to be to be on the Fort Campbell campus. You can just be a civilian as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Which is one of the coolest things. I didn't assume that when I started working.
I don't think a lot of people know that.
No,
And that's good. That's why we're here, to let people know.
Share
Hey,
that information. Spread the wealth
absolutely,
and
absolutely.
I would like to say something.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can attend our campus. You just, in order to get on base, you can't have any of those barriers that they have. So I gotta put that disclaimer out there. You know, so just you have to go to Gate 7 to see what those barriers are.
There are a few steps that students have to take to be able to do in-person classes with us. So if they wanted to come into the education center, they just have to go to the Gate 7 Visitor Center. Hopefully Gate 4's Visitor Center will be back open
I was going to
soon,
say,
but-
I knew Gate 4 was closed, and it's been closed for a hot minute, hasn't it?
We think it might be soon that they're reopening.
Okay,
It looks like their building is getting
That's
back up
that's
together.
good because I
but-
know that they have been turning people around and pointing them at the other
Causes a
direction.
long
It
line.
causes a long line. Go, what? I didn't know about this. Well, you know.
But yeah, so as long as a student can get a visitor's pass, typically like for the day or the couple days that they want to come in for like their admissions process before their classes start, that's perfect. And then for any students that sign up for in-person classes with us, depending on the days of their class schedule and all that, we can create a semester-long pass for them that they just print. It's connected to their regular driver's license, and they can
just
scan into
scan
the
it.
gate
Yeah,
without
that makes
going
it,
every time.
that'll make it a lot easier
Yeah,
too,
so-
won't it?
Yeah,
Wow.
it does.
So how long have you ladies been there?
Well, I've been here 7.5 months. So I'm still a little new. Yeah.
Okay. Well, how are you enjoying it? Is it a challenge for you or?
The challenge for me is rebranding HCC into the Clarksville area and convincing people that they don't have to be military affiliated to get on post.
Right.
And then just pretty much trying to educate individuals about community college in general. I don't think a lot is what I've seen so far and what I've learned, even know or aware of community college as an option, post-secondary college. So I'm pretty much convincing people that community college is a great start. You know, if you just don't know where to start, or if you need to get your GPA up, or if you want to start small and just knock out your general courses. So I'm pretty much I convince a lot of people.
There you go. See?
Yeah.
Just like the nursing, because you can start is it like just the pre-nursing thing, and then once you get like 2 years in, then you have to go to a university to complete your nursing, or is that not?
Necessarily. There's different levels. So, like I mentioned before, we have the certified nursing assistant program. So, in just 8 weeks, someone can become a certified nursing assistant and go work in different areas as that CNA level.
Okay.
And then we do offer a practical nursing diploma, so it's a little bit shorter of a time frame to do that, about 1.5 years for students to complete that. And that LPN level also works at, other doctors' offices, hospitals, things like that. And then our 2-year full associate's degree for nursing is for registered nurses. And so that's just your standard level of certification for any nurse, really in any field that the healthcare industry offers.
Right.
And then a lot of students, after they've done their associate's degree level, they'll work for a couple years, and then they might do a bachelor's degree to kind of hit that pay
Right.
increase or promote within the nursing field. But in as little as 2.5 years, students can start in the nursing field just full time,
Nice.
full nurse.
Yeah, because
standard.
I think a lot of
did
the
not know that.
yeah, I didn't.
I don't know why I thought it was definitely a longer.
I know.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
I was like,
Because sometimes even like, I don't know if you know this, but like when you go to the doctor's office, sometimes the nurses almost know just as much. So
as
like
the doctors,
and doctors go to school for like 8 years.
Yeah.
So to me, I
Exactly.
thought, okay, well, nurses must at least go for 4 years. I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah, that's
had
what
no
I,
idea.
That's what I would assume. So you've been there 7 months.
Yes.
How long have you been there?
I'm coming up on 2 years. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a military spouse, moved here with my husband.
Okay.
And was looking for jobs around. I've been in the education field my entire career,
Mm-hmm.
so was looking around. And Hopkinsville Community College had the Fort Campbell position open.
That is
which
so
was
nice, isn't
awesome.
it? That
Yeah,
was
it
like
convenient, and it was a really good experience to work with the community college as well. So I've been loving it. It's a great.
So do you
time.
have any challenges? Do you see?
I think
for you?
I think recruiting is our biggest,
Biggest
challenge that
challenge?
we're trying to kind of get
Yeah.
over. Of course, with Fort Campbell being what it is, the 101st, they have so many of our active duty students are so busy
Yeah.
that coming to school can be a challenge sometimes. So they'll come for 8 weeks and then they'll have to sit out for a year and then they'll come back again and then they'll hit a stride and then they'll have to stop because of training or
Yeah.
life or whatever.
So
it
do you
is.
get a lot of the soldiers attending?
We do, yeah. We
Okay.
have a good amount. We have a lot of really good, like financial assistance programs for active duty students, veterans, spouses, things like that. So that's really what draws a lot of that community to our school. It becomes very cost effective for them. But because it is such a fluid community, even spouses or veterans who want to come to school and come to Fort Campbell may or may not, be able to come consistently because of whatever their schedules look like. So that is part of the reason we've been, working so closely with Nasharee about about the community college to the community surrounding because we are a really close and convenient option for students that might not know about it.
Because I
so-
didn't know about all this.
Yeah.
I mean, so this
Yeah, I
is
didn't
really
either.
this is really good.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
that-
But yeah, so that's been our biggest challenge. But other than that, I mean, it's just been a pleasure to work with the students and at this level. I think HCC really kind of cultivates this like heart of like family and makes students really feel welcome and that, like we're taking care of them. And so it's been really nice to be part of that for the last 2 years.
So how many would you say right now is enrolled in at Fort Campbell?
Yeah, at Fort Campbell, we have about 350
Okay.
students, and that
Oh, okay.
includes
Yeah.
students who come in person for their classes and students who are enrolled fully online. But they'll come for all their services. At Fort Campbell.
I can't do online. I have to be in
Oh,
person.
I know it's not for me, but
Online computer is not for me. I need to be like right there in front of that professor. I need to be in person. I can't do that. What about you, Scarlett?
I mean, I've never been able to really do online. I think that now, like, I maybe could, depending on like how it's set up. Like,
Yeah.
if there's actual lectures online I can watch, it might be a different story. But if it's like a
Just do
a
this.
self-teach,
yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
not,
Like,
absolutely not. I need to have someone there to answer my questions when I don't know what I'm doing.
Say something.
Well,
you
you
jump
know
in.
what? I have something to say
Well,
about
say
our
it.
lovely
Well, good.
college.
We're playing, so we're
yes,
good.
yes.
So, according to Smart Asset, we are ranked as the top 2-year community college in the state of Kentucky.
Wow.
So I would just like to put that out.
That's
Thank you. I wanted to put that out there. So
Love it. Yay.
not only do we have low tuition rates, we have quality education. So there
Yeah.
you go.
All right. Good to know. Love it. Love it.
that's been one of my favorite things about working at Hopkinsville and especially at Fort Campbell is students like feel like they have such a great experience. It really attests to that like statistic.
Yeah.
And they'll even come back and be like, well, can I get like more associate's degrees? Like I want to keep going to school with you guys. I don't really want to move on.
Oh,
Because they just enjoy the experience that they have at Hopkinsville Community College, which is, really heartwarming.
Nice. So do you find anybody going like, okay, I'm attending Fort Campbell, but I want to go to Hopkinsville one? I mean, do you have that, a lot of those transfers and stuff?
Yeah, not necessarily transfers, but we do have students who kind of go across the two campuses depending on what's more convenient for them. So we'll have a lot of students who they may be out here at a certain time of day for a kid's sporting event or, just a doctor's appointment or whatever they have going on. And so the class that Fort Campbell offers might be way more convenient to their class schedule
okay.
than the
Than
same
the-
class that they're offering out at Hopkinsville. So some students will attend both campuses and kind of do both for whatever works best for them. Sometimes we're the only campus offering the online option that Hopkinsville offers. Specifically with nursing, we have a lot of students who start at Fort Campbell because we do have that certified nursing assistant, and then we have all of the general education prerequisites they need to be admitted to that nursing program. So they'll start with us for, 6 months to a year, depending on how long it takes them to do that. And then they'll move over to the Hopkinsville campus as well. Same thing with a lot of our allied health programs, specifically. And then sometimes those like agriculture or other like hands-on degrees where the physical equipment is out in Hopkinsville, but some of the classes they need don't necessarily need the equipment, so they can come do it with us. I was like, she's dying. I'm dying.
Sorry. You are finding some more.
I'll get her some water.
I told you, charcuterie boy went out here.
We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Spritzer.
Spritzer.
I would love one. Thank you.
My throat got dry.
Here, you want to talk some more?
And you're like right at this light too, so it just.
Why did he change that light, Scarlett?
Well, I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you.
Like,
I
before
don't
the light was
know.
over here. Oh, I bet because we didn't want it to shine just on her back of her head because we normally don't have two guests.
Yes.
So that's probably why
Mixing
he
it
moved
up
it to
today.
get the two guests there. So that's pretty cool.
I'm sorry, I was holding that
No,
cough. Have you
girl,
ever held a cough?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, and your whole
it is
chest
like,
starts-
and you're like,
like,
oh god,
Yeah.
Do that on a plane.
oh yeah.
I did
Or
that
do
around
that,
COVID.
or
You're
do
taking a
that when you're in a
test.
conference and you have a speaker and the whole room is quiet and you're going, and you're trying not to cough so hard that you have to get up and go, excuse me, I just gotta go cough my head out my lung. I gotta cough up the lung or something. I don't know. But yeah.
I've done that. I've held it in at a conference before where I'm like, we're sitting at the table and I'm like, it's quiet.
It's gonna cough so bad. And I'm like, and then it was like, anybody got a mint? Anybody got a mint?
Some gum.
Now you can't cough after COVID. You just can't
everyone-
cough
Oh
anymore.
yeah, you're not
Glare
allowed
at
to.
you.
That's
Yeah.
taboo, don't you know? Okay, what other questions did I have? What questions do you have? I know that you had a lot.
I have a question. So for someone who has never been on Fort Campbell, right? Like you guys are recruiting and you're talking to people about it. How do you kind of explain to them like the process of getting on Fort Campbell and like finding where you guys are located without them obviously being intimidated by the fact that Fort
There
Campbell
is
is
Fort Campbell, yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Military.
Yeah.
It is scary.
Yes.
If you're
It
driving
is.
by, and
Yeah.
you're
Very
like,
scary.
Yeah.
I've gotten lost.
Especially
so
that
I
big
just-
wall
I get
around it and stuff, and you're like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
well, when I'm out and about and I'm speaking to someone local, I have met people that actually moved here and they're lost about where to go. But for locals, for majority, I pretty much let them know where to go. So the visitors information station? Not really sure what they call
visitor center.
it. Visitor center.
yeah.
So I just let them know. I pretty much just introduce Hopkinsville Community College to them. Let them know what the type of environment, the community that we are as a campus, and tell them about the programs that we do offer. And then I just make a little segue on into the visitor center and just mention that. But they pretty much have to GPS like where to actually go.
But sometimes
I was gonna say the same thing. I have GPS things on Fort Campbell before.
yes,
not
and it'll
ended
take
up
you
there.
somewhere
it takes
completely
you totally
different.
somewhere completely
That's how
different.
I've gotten lost, and I'm pretty sure I was in places I wasn't supposed to be. So
Yes, thankfully, the education center is right at the kind of the front where you see the big wall. We could see outside the gates from our building.
Which gate? Gate
Gate 4 is what
Gate
we're
4.
closest
Okay,
to. Yeah.
okay.
So if a student is going to the visitor center and they start at Gate 7 while that's still the visitor center, they do have kind of a long trek to make back to where the
Definitely.
building is
Yeah.
now, which has been a challenge in explaining. But thankfully, because it is one of those buildings that's so close to Gate 4, which has traditionally been the visitor center, and because it's kind of closest to all of the the main road to down Fort Campbell Boulevard, we have been able to, with our address, the 202 Bastogne Avenue, that one will ping them right there. And so thankfully the GPS helps with our
Yeah.
building specifically. If they know exactly what to
Yeah.
search, the exact address, it'll get them there. or we'll tell them if you go to the visitor center and then drive. If you
you
get
drive-
your pass,
yeah,
drive
drive-
back to gate 4. We're the first building on your left when you come through gate 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so they could get the visitors pass at gate 7 and then turn around at gate 7 and come back on 41A and go through gate 4,
go through gate 4,
absolutely.
yeah.
which makes
Oh,
it
okay.
so
Much
much
easier.
easier.
That would be
yeah.
Because it is a
easier.
long way. When I first started and tried to find the Ed Center and I put in my GPS, I was like, this is far. But no, just go out. Yeah.
So do you have people attend from Clarksville, Montgomery County?
We do, yeah. We have a lot of students because a lot of times the education that they have as options in Clarksville, Montgomery County, just isn't what they're looking for program wise, and so our Fort Campbell campus is the closest option for them. And we do have like a reciprocal tuition agreement with them, so they don't even pay like out of state tuition or anything like that.
Yep.
So they just pay the standard
okay.
Kentucky rate as well. So we
Because
do
that was
have a
going to
good
be my
amount.
next question about the out-of-state tuition. That was going to be my next. So
Yes,
that's
we're
good to
very
know.
thankful for that
Yeah.
we can work with those counties to kind of have that agreement, and so there are a good amount of students that are Clarksville residents.
It's good. So probably a lot of like when people stay on Fort Campbell or their dad and the kids graduate from Fort Campbell High School or whatever, they can actually go straight in to the community college from there. And then at least say a year, and then they can, if their parents get transferred someplace else or just decide to stay. So they can still continue there if the parents decide to stay, which is nice because you're there for 3 to 4 years. And if you have kids that's in the 10th grade and they're really wanting to, continue their education through a college, at least they have that on Fort Campbell, which makes it nice.
Yeah, that is a really nice transition, and thankfully, especially with our associate's degrees, the general transfer ones, when a lot of students are starting out with their general education, they might think like, oh, well, my parents are moving. Why would I start, with my education if I want to go with them, things like that. Or even our soldiers and spouses who go to our Fort Campbell campus who in the back of their head, they're like, well, I'm going to PCS or I'm going to leave this area. Like, do I even want to do this? Because I'm going to end up having to stop. A lot of our students don't have to stop because we have so many online options too. So they can do everything that they can in person with us while they're here. And then we can still help them finish up even if they move, even if they decide that they need to be somewhere else.
Right.
So that's helped a lot of our students as well with kind of that transition, not sure what to do.
Right. I bet you get a lot of the military spouses that's on Fort Campbell that, okay, the husband's working and the kids are off to school or, and they want to have a second or they want to have a career. So, so it makes it really nice all the way around.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're a really convenient option is kind of what I like to call Fort Campbell.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. How would someone find information to be able to come apply or to even look into the options? Like, what would be the best way for them to reach out or to get that information?
Do you want to, or do you want me to?
This is not. I'm here for support. Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to go ahead? Okay, great.
I'm sweating. Throat is dry. Make sure you edit this, okay? I'm just here to give you guys
I
laughs.
have to throw in some bloopers at the
Save
end.
all of her clips.
Yeah.
Create a whole
Sure, at the
blooper
end.
line.
What not to do.
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
to get more information, just Google searching Hopkinsville Community College is a really great place to start. The website's very easy to use, so you can look at all of the programs we have, and then even from there, the application is really simple. It's application fee free, so it's free to just apply and even get more information from us. There's some forms you can fill out online too, if you're interested in specific programs but kind of want more info before applying, things like that. But from there, usually our staff at Fort Campbell will contact students who have kind of put those feelers out either through an application on the website or through one of those forms or meeting people out in the community. Or students just want to talk to somebody. They can always come visit us in the education center. We have a big open window, so they just have to walk right up and talk to somebody directly, which is a really nice option. Or if they call our phone number, 270-707-3918. We always have somebody who's there to answer any questions, walk them through the process. That's
And
really
the
our
website
preferred.
is?
Hopkinsville.
hopkinsville.kctcs.edu.
Okay.
You put that in.
I usually say Google search because the website escapes me.
I mean, the admissions process, though, is easy. We have an admissions checklist. So application, transcripts, FAFSA. So it's a step-by-step, and you can just, it's easy to follow.
Yeah,
so.
we try to make it as easy as possible for students to.
So you
get
don't have
started.
to take. I mean, the people who want to like maybe attend, they don't have to test to get into that, do they, or just the application?
Yeah, really just the application. Students do have to provide their records, so any transcripts from high school and colleges that they've been to previously. We do recommend placement testing for a lot of students because it helps us figure out which classes are going to be best for them, because I don't want to put somebody in a
throw you in
calculus
there.
class when really they need an algebra class or
Right,
something like
right,
that,
right.
Yeah.
So it's recommended but not required. So a lot of students can start out with a lot of classes that are kind of at our intro level that don't need any kind of extra steps. So someone can apply and enroll typically within like a week's span if they're ready to go and they have all of their stuff ready.
Wow. So
Okay.
that was my next question on scheduling. The different classes. So a person, like you said, they can apply and they can start the next week.
They can get registered for their classes the next week, depending on kind of when our classes
That's
start.
right.
So,
Yeah.
we have 8-week semesters. So if you're thinking about your typical college semester, your fall, your spring, your summer, we split those all in half. So there's a fall 1, fall 2, spring 1, spring 2, and then summer is a whole mix of different sessions that we offer. And so because it's so fast paced, it's every 8 weeks we're enrolling new students. So someone can apply and depending on, how close they are to when the semester started, they can get started really fast, or they can just finish that application process and know they can get an appointment scheduled with their advisor so that they can register as soon as registration opens, and then start those classes within, that 8-week time frame. So we're about to start registering for our summer semester here next week. Because we are in the education center, we have to prioritize our active duty registration. So our soldiers will start registering next week, and then April 28th is when our civilian veteran spouse students will start registering as well. So we're getting really close to summer. That'll be nice. And then at the end of July is when we'll start registering for that fall semester, which
Do
is
you have
when
a lot of people
students-
already on the list to register? Or
We do
you
have we have some good groups that
good.
are ready to get signed up for
Good.
their summer classes, which is nice.
That's exciting. I always, after I graduated, I said, I've always wanted to, go to college. And I did. I went to college for, 2 years. And I was like, I just don't want to do school anymore. I just don't want to do this anymore. So I just didn't.
And we get a lot of students like that. Like we'll have
I mean,
students who are they're thinking about a second career, or they say oh, I went to school a long time ago, but it wasn't right for me at the time, but now I really want to
go
do
back.
it.
Yeah.
Especially with our veterans or people who have veteran education benefits, like from a spouse or a parent or something, who live in this area and they're ready to go back to school. They're like, it just sounded fun to come get a certification, or sounded fun to take a couple classes. And so we'll have a lot of students do that too, kind of just wrap something
Well, they
up
have
or
something to
do
back
something
up.
new.
If they go one path and they're like, I'm on, and they'll have something to back it up to go to a different path that they want to do.
Yeah,
So which is really cool. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
So what else, Scarlett?
What else, Scarlett? Let me just add something in here.
Yes.
Thank you.
you.
You're welcome.
Back to you.
We're just chilling over here.
Yes, absolutely.
So recruiting.
Yes.
Last year, I stepped in and I decided to do a cafe tour. And basically, I went around to different cafes, local, small business, and franchise. So like Starbucks, Lassiter's, Westbrook's I think is a new one on Tiny Town. So I went to the different cafe shops around and did some recruiting. And so this summer, I'm going to do a summer tour, and I want to go to the nutrition spots or the fruit bowl spots.
Okay, good idea.
And then we'll do a cafe tour 2.0. Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's actually pretty cool. I would never
that's a
thought
good
about
idea.
that. That's a very good idea. And how did that work out for you?
Oh, it went really well. I met a lot of people that actually attended Hopkinsville Community College, both campuses. So, there were parents that wanted me to convince their kids to come to community college. I mean, I don't know if I convinced them, but I did give them some information and, told them to pretty much sign up, basically.
Right.
Like, go ahead and sign up. You're saving your parents money. Go ahead and sign up. But I got great feedback, so that's why I'm going to do a cafe
Yeah.
tour 2.0, but I want to do a summer edition as well.
So do you have experience, past experience when you started this?
No.
Oh, okay, so you-
not in
you
higher
just-
education,
yeah,
no.
On-the-job training?
Actually, I was a human resource specialist. So I didn't do recruiting either. It's just, I don't know. This job was available when we moved here from Texas, and I thought I would be really good at it. And here you go.
And
Just
she
blossoming.
is, yeah.
She's
Just
great at
Just
it.
blossoming. So,
Well, you got that personality for it. Though, too.
Really?
Yeah, you do. You really
Thanks.
do.
Yes. And a great microphone
Yeah,
voice.
yeah. I loved it when she first came in and said, "What radio station did you use?"
Hot 92 points. Yeah. But on top of recruiting, we do partnerships as well. So we do like to volunteer and build those relationships with the community as well as the community on Fort Campbell. So the USO, we do Blue Star Families. We just signed up to be a part of the Spring into Summer Salutes Fort
Did
Campbell.
you? You come in my way.
Yes.
I'm coming
in
your way,
May.
so-
Sweet.
So we'll be there, and
Okay.
then we're at the farmers market in the summer.
okay, in
in
Oak
Clarksville-
Grove
in
or in
Clarksville.
Clarksville? Okay.
Does
Okay.
Oak Grove have a farmers
They
market?
do.
Oh,
They
that's
do. They're starting a farmers market.
Oh,
I
well,
love farmers
it's like the
markets.
second year.
This is
was it
this
the
is their
second
I think they're
or
second or third.
Yeah.
This is
And
info
it's
for me.
actually on Walter Garrett Lane. If it's on 115, and it's on it's at the far end of Walter Garrett Lane, and it's by that Broad Horizon Industrial Park. That's where it is, and I think it starts next April. Yeah,
April.
Beginning of April.
Yeah, it sure does.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
contact the city hall, and they will give you the information.
There you go. I know
Okay.
somebody.
Yeah, you know somebody.
And
You
I
know
mean, if you,
somebody who
if you
knows
listen
somebody.
to our podcast, we also
Yeah.
just released that
We
podcast
did.
today.
We just released the
with all
podcast
the
today with the information.
I'll
on
have to
that
go
one.
through City Hall.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Because he even said it was Isaiah, and he was even giving you the
That's who I
time, the
know.
dates. Yeah, is that who you knew?
That's who I know.
Isaiah Spencer. He was the one that did the podcast for the farmers market,
Oh, really?
and so we just released that one today. Yeah.
We-
So
we
yes,
went
you have to go
church.
in there and
Yeah,
yes,
it's been knowing me for
he's
a long time.
he's good people,
Yeah.
good people. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that information.
I know,
Of
we're
course.
getting a lot
Yeah.
out of this.
Just a side note, I like farmers markets anyway.
I
so
love
didn't know
farmers
that.
market. I was telling Isaiah when we were doing the podcast, I said my favorite is tomatoes, cucumbers, corn, and watermelon.
Not just any
Those are my
watermelon.
Not just any watermelon. Scarlett, would you like to?
The yellow
The
watermelon.
yellow watermelon.
Oh. I don't know if I've ever heard
Yellow.
that.
Have you not? It is so good. And
But don't forget your salt.
yeah, you gotta
Oh,
have
you
salt
have
on
to
your
have
wa-
salt.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the most country
Thank
thing
you.
can do.
Thank you, because people look at me like I got four heads when I put
No,
salt
you
on my
gotta have
watermelon.
See, people thinking salty. No, just a little.
No,
mhm.
yeah. I don't do a little girl. I do a lot on my
Mhm.
watermelon.
That's the best
I
way.
I do. And she never did it.
I never did it.
Yeah, and then
And you did it.
she convinced me to
Yeah.
just try
Try
it.
it.
She
Just
said,
try.
just try
Just
it.
try.
Well, let me tell
And
you
I
another
tried it, and I
secret.
said, salt is going on every single one of
Yeah.
my fruit now.
Try lemon on watermelon.
Really?
Listen.
Lemon?
Now that was a TikTok thing. I'm not a big TikToker, but that was, and so I was just squeezing lemon on the watermelon, like TikTok said, and y'all,
Really?
Makes it like like even more like
I
sour
lie not.
candy.
Really?
the lemon. I'm a salt girl. Trust
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
But the lemon took it to a whole nother level.
Really?
And you said tomatoes, and I was like, does she make tomato sandwiches?
I do
Oh, yes.
with mayonnaise. Yes. I try too. I do. I love tomato sandwiches, even cucumber sandwiches. People
I don't
think
know
I'm
if this
crazy.
is going to be in here.
And then we
But
can
I
go
like
to
to
tomatoes.
mention that
Yes.
Hopkinsville Community College,
Yes.
as well as our Fort Campbell campus, we are celebrating our 60th birthday this year. Well, this year we started our 60th birthday. So we've been celebrating. We just had an event with a Kentucky author and a poet, I believe. His name was Silas House.
Yes, we heard him. at
Yeah.
KTIA.
Yeah.
We did. We
we
did
did.
hear him.
So he came to the college,
was wondering why it sounded
and it was an
familiar.
event, and he pretty much talked about where he gets his inspiration and how to write his material. So he was part of our birthday celebration, and so we had different events throughout the year so far, and started a little bit last year, but we are celebrating our 60th.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a big one. That's
That
a
is
good
a
one.
big one. That is
Yeah.
a very big one. Wow. Okay. Well, is there anything else, ladies, that you want to tell the listeners or the YouTube people that watch us? YouTube people.
Go like our page.
Yes, there you go.
No, my personal page. I'm just kidding.
Follow me on TikTok.
Follow me on
Instagram.
Instagram. No, please do like, follow, and share our Facebook page. It's the
Yes.
Hopkinsville Community College Facebook page. I do a lot of posting on there. Marketing does a lot of posting, so we have events always, and we do like to post our newsletter. We started a Fort Campbell newsletter now, so we do post events or dates, registration dates, anything that's important pertaining to Fort Campbell, but also Hopkinsville Community College.
So how can anybody get the newsletter? Is there a certain link that they have
There's
to click
no link. I
on?
actually
or?
post the actual newsletter.
Okay.
Yeah.
To the Facebook
So
page.
to the Facebook
To the
page.
page,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
So-
Wonderful.
It's ripe with info, that Facebook page.
Okay. Well, anything else, ladies, that we want to talk about?
I don't think so.
This has been
Yeah.
great.
Just sign up for
Yeah.
our summer and fall
Yes.
registration. So
Yes.
Very low commitment. Even if you just want to try classes, it's
Yes.
a really fun environment to get
Yes.
started with.
Yes. And you'll get to meet these two lovely ladies. And we'll be right back. And we're back. So this is the time that we have Mr. Lee, and he gives the gossip of the week. And here we go.
This is Lee with Gossip of the Week.
How's it going, y'all?
hey,
It's Lee with Gossip of the Week. So, the citizens of Oak Grove, Kentucky have been hearing booming noises. So, for the new people that live here or just now coming to visit and going to the casino and stuff, it's coming from the military base. We live right next to Fort Campbell, and, you know, you never get used to it. So, yeah, it still surprises me
No,
till
it'll
this
catch
day.
you off guard every time.
It catches you off guard every time.
do you know what that is? That's someone celebrating their graduation from Hopkinsville Community College. Fort Campbell campus. Bombs going off.
Bombs away.
I don't know what bomb is.
Just put the claps. Put the claps. There you go.
There you go.
Good deal. Good deal. So that's one thing that's been gossiping around in the Grove. I checked in with the community chat, and that's when everybody's been talking about. And they're like, "What's all this
What's this
boom?"
gossip? Well, that gossip could be, is it fireworks? Is it Fort Campbell? Is it,
Something more
uh,
nefarious.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So now
We know what it is.
we know what it is.
We know what it is. Fort Campbell.
Fort Campbell and Fort Campbell campus.
Yes.
Yes.
All the graduates.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna throw in one more thing because I gotta save the rest of the gossip for our next episode.
Okay.
We have a missing dog at
Oh.
Ghost Bridge, and it is the tiniest, cutest little thing.
At Ghost Bridge.
At Ghost Bridge.
Aw.
It's just a tiny little thing. I'm gonna put the picture up. It looks super cute. But we need help finding its homeowner, and it's just another lost pet, ladies and gentlemen. We had a lost cat, 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago we had a lost cat. Yeah.
And now we have a lost little dog.
lost
So,
puppy.
yeah.
Aw. So the gossip with that is find the dog.
Find the dog before the ghost gets
and see if the dog is a ghost dog.
Never know. It
You
could
never
be like
know. It
one of
could
the-
be a ghost dog, like Ghost Bridge.
Oh my goodness.
See that?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my! You
Well,
never
see
know.
How, you see how this takes a turn? And I was actually going to ask a question to y'all
Yeah,
ladies.
sure.
I'm actually filming a movie called Ghost Bridge in Oak Grove.
You would like us in it.
Oh, well,
I can be an extra.
I have a blood curdling scream.
that's hilarious. I mean, we can talk about that after this. But I was actually asking, don't y'all have filming classes and at
That's
Hopkinsville
that's
College?
that is gossip at this
That
point.
is gossip.
that-
That
that's
is gossip. I
gossip.
don't think that we
No, we
have
don't.
any
Y'all don't.
filming classes,
No.
but
Wow.
See, that's a gossip.
That-
There you
that
go. That was a good
gossip.
gossip.
Oh, my
Yeah.
We
goodness.
don't.
Well, I was gonna see if y'all could be a part of it, but I guess
I know we can put fillers out with students. I'm sure there are people who are on that track,
Right.
starting out with their
Yeah.
English, their math classes, but they have big dreams of becoming the next Spielberg.
Awesome.
So we're
put
just
it out.
like we said, we're just knocking out some of those classes you may need, and before we just hand you off.
We can
Right.
hand, we can hand them
Yeah.
off to the
Yeah.
next big film school.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. We'll
Definitely
see
something
that.
I wanted to ask y'all.
No,
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
But that is it for Gossip of the Week.
Okay, Scarlett, let our viewer or our listeners know where they can hear us on our podcast.
Yes. Well, if you're listening right now, make sure you subscribe, share, like, and spread the word. We're on all your local podcasts that you have on your phone. So whether it's Apple or Spotify or
Android,
Podbean
yeah,
or
Podbean, all of
we're,
it, yeah.
we're on all the local podcasts, and then you can also find us on YouTube and watch our videos of our lovely guests and see all the pictures that Lee puts up for us.
Yes. Yes. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you, ladies, our special guests. Thank you so much for coming and visiting us. And we're out.
Thank you for having us.
See you next time.